Alright. So I did find there's two chests that I was missing. One was in Serpent's Coil, and it was a duplicator chest when I think I didn't have many duplicators left. And then the other one was in the place after the world's footprint or something like that. I've already forgotten the name of it. Hanging on the top of a grating that was just a regular chest that I flat out missed. And we should have enough chests to do this now. An hour and a half later of going through every dungeon up to that point. So it was like 3 dungeons after 3 dungeons after Yggdrasil. I walked through, re-walked through every dungeon looking for chests that I missed. Whereas all the treasure chests have been opened, except one. Yes, I have the courage, because I've no longer got the patience. That's a bad habit of yours, trying to open the chest many times. You might just hurt yourself. And thus we are now finally thrown into what I've been trying to do this whole freaking time. Alright, let's get her done. Let's go ahead and bust a lucky card. Let's go ahead and use us a Gela card. Bust a hyper. Gatling on Black Box. Now, Black Boxes gives pretty good XP and pretty good money. It's probably the best that we're going to get from this point out, next to... Well, yeah, no, this is probably the best we're going to get unless we go back into the Abyss. Unless we go into the Abyss, which I'm not even going to bother with. No point. And actually, the Black Box gives probably the best rewards in the game for XP and Gela, next to maybe the Ragua Regala fight. But even in the Ragua Regala fight, you don't get much out of that. And I think the second fight with him, you get nothing. So, but it's definitely one of the best for sure. I actually think in both Ragu fights, you get nothing. You don't get any XP or Gela. So this is really the battle royale of all of that. And I would say the money that can be made from this fight alone is probably enough to really give you the breakthrough that you need to finish the game with. Let's full carrot this. Potion berry. Throw up shield. And why not? Now, he's not going to go down in one round of this, by the way. And if we needed more XP in Gela, we could go... There are 3 other bosses, or 2 other bosses. 2 other bosses that are not Ragua Regala in the Abyss. And we could collect from them, theoretically. So, yeah, there's ways to max out our XP and HP even more, or Gela even more. But then you just get to a point where you have to make an executive decision. How far do you want these to take your characters? And again, you're going to max out at a certain point. You are going to get to a point in the game where you just got to work with the aliens enemies from way back when. So it gets to a point where you have to kind of reconfigure what you're going to do. Now, regarding this dude, he's pretty harmless. His melee attack is probably the most dangerous thing that he's got going. And if you've got all the fire resistance in the world, he's pretty much not much of a threat. As you can clearly see from what we've been accomplishing here. Let's go ahead and Gatling. Let's go ahead and extension. I would say permanence at this point. We don't need to change much else. Bust a Gatling. But this dude's gonna have like flying enemy mothership amounts of HP. I want to say he's over 100,000 for sure, give or take. We just don't really need to do it. We really just need to do another one of those. Mega Berry. Reload. darling. Want to keep everyone alive for this fight. And he's out of here. You've now opened all the treasure chests. Congratulations. Now sleep in peace. I think I'll go to sleep myself. And that's 102,000 XP, 340,000 Gela. And look at that, double XP on that. So Virginia is going to get almost 300,000 XP from this fight. It's a great fight. I guess if you are one of those mid-maxers, you could try to make and prolong this fight as long as possible to get the highest benefit. But really, just from that raw go through, it's pretty beastly. It's pretty much almost, no, it's not double the current XP. It's a lot. She's at 72. She's now at 74, so she gained a full 2 levels off of that. Big time. Big time. I'll just do it for the cheap seats for you guys. Big time. And we haven't used any of our XP bags. Not that they're going to give us much anyway at this point of the game. But, yeah, big deal. It's a very big deal. And you get an EX file key for your trouble. There are really no missable chests in the game, except in one area in Serpent's Path. And I want to make this very clear because I realized this when I was backtracking through dungeons. If you don't kick the little emergency ladder down, you could lose access to the chests up there if you miss any of them. If you don't miss any of them, you don't really have much to worry about. But it's something you significantly and severely need to consider before moving on. All right, with that out of the way, let us now head to, and this episode might go a hair long, just to finish up a few little tidbits here as we head over to Humfriespeak. We got some stuff we got to do there, amongst other things. Because we've got all those books we collected, if anybody even remembers half of that crap. But we collected all those books and whatnot, and you can't even really finish it, literally, until you get to pretty much this point of the game. Now, I made an executive decision, and I know it's not going to be a popular one, but I'm not going to read these books for you guys, unfortunately. What I am going to do... What I think I am going to do, though, is I'm going to leave the dialogue pages up long enough so you can pause the frame and read it yourselves. It's a neat story, and I think you guys will like it. But like I said, it's just so much to read, and I just think it's better that we just kind of get through it. But collecting all of these bad boys are actually kind of cool. You get, you know what? Yeah, whatever. I think we're going to be good. So like I said, we'll move slowly through here. And this earns you another EX file key. And you know what? I thought of another question somebody might have. If you want to do the Antioch boss side quest, let me tell you how to do that really quick while we're here. The trick to it is you got to go to the Den of Miasma, okay, which is where Clive's first dungeon. And when you go in there, you actually have to go to the little sphere thing where the monster is. There's some chests in that area. It's not hard to find. It is in there. I believe you have to blast a wall to get to it. And then you use Gallows Kramer dolls to bring it out. You fight it. Now what you got to do is it'll show up in random encounters only in dungeons. So once you encounter them in a dungeon, they will not reappear until you enter a new dungeon or a different dungeon. So the best way to get them is to literally jump back and forth between. But this can take literal hours. They don't show up like clockwork. And you have to kill 99 to 100 of them. and they get exponentially stronger, like the telepath towers. If you do them out of order or in order, they get exponentially stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger until, you know, the game is over, you know, until you've beaten 100 of them. At our current levels, we could probably handle it, hence why they should be the last ones, beings you attempt, creatures you attempt, in all fairness. But with that all said, I think it's not a hard side quest as much as it is a time-consuming one. So Gerard, you're a completionist. Complete this game. I'd like to see you try. It can be done. It can be done, and it's not that hard. But it's rough. It's most of the stuff in this game is difficult in the sense that it's time-consuming. And you have to be very methodical and very careful with how you handle things. So that's the other big one as well. I know I'm going somewhat fast, but you should be able to pause that and get to read everything. So red number 1. It's all about the Crimson Noble. But yeah, so I think I covered that. There's another side quest that's actually pretty easy to do, as is this one where we're doing the adventure reading. The other one that's easy to do is actually Martina is the little girl Martina, and we've been meeting her throughout the game, off and on. She ends up in different towns where we gotta talk to her. Eventually, she pretty much makes a trip to most of the towns in the game. With that said, you then have to get her to appear in a certain set of orders, and then you get an EX file key for your trouble. It's actually a pretty easy one. It's up there with the map completion, you know, EX file key, and some of the others. I think Mimir as well isn't that difficult, other than making sure you do the reading for that. You wouldn't know that Lolithia is there, but if you read enough books, you'll find it. You know, the EX file keys are mostly all obtainable. So let's talk about Regula Regala. Okay, Regula Regala, you have to fight twice in this game, and it's really just a grating on your nerves set of fights more than anything. And you need to be really high level in order to survive his hits, right? So we're talking Regula Regala. When the first time you fight him, he's got a ton of HP. All right, and I can even tell you the number. It's over 700,000. Okay, he's going to hit you with a physical attack really hard. And he also has a counter attack that's going to hit you really, really hard. However, they're all single targets. So as long as your characters can survive that, you're fine. Because his other attack is a fire AoE. I forget the name of it. It's like 100 million degrees or something, or billion or something. But if you have fire resistance on everybody, that's not even a problem. It could still do some damage if you don't have it maxed out. Again, I don't usually worry about it. Now, that's the first time you beat him. When you beat him at the bottom of the abyss, before you can leave the abyss, you actually have to fight this dickhole again. And guess what? He now will hit you with every single elemental AoE attack in the game possible, and in their strongest element. So Cocytus, he can hit you with Maelstrom, which was the Kraken did. Cocytus was Lolithia. I can't think of them all. They're all there. Okay, light, dark, thunder, wind, water, earth, ice, fire. They're all there. Plus his physical and his counterattack. And instead of the 700,000 that he had, he now has max HP of 999,000 and whatever. Now, beating both forms gives you nothing. However, with that said, there is a once per game item you can get called the Sheriff's Star. And both forms have the capacity to drop it, I believe. But you can only get it once per game. And it's going to take all of your FP to even equip it. Okay, so all your skill points or whatever. I'm sorry, I said FP. It takes all your skill points to equip it. In other words, it's more of, to me, in my opinion, it's more of a novelty. It's a cool item. It's a cool item. But for me personally, I don't find it to be or warrant it as like this necessary thing you have to get. The reward doesn't justify, in my opinion, everything. You need to be anywhere between level 8. I've seen and heard of some people beating him at level 80. Most people beat him, even with a mild difficulty, at level 90 to 100. I've done it at level 88, and I've done it at level 96, and I've done it at level 100. Multiple times on level 100. Now, it's funny because I made a joke earlier that I only beat him once. No, I've beaten him multiple times, but my point is that it's the time commitment it takes to do it. You only, as a personal, from me to you, if you're playing this game, you only need to beat Ragu once. Okay? You only need to beat him once. Anything more than that is on you guys. I mean, I've done it in my live stream years ago. I beat Ragu Regala. Second time I streamed the game, I decided not to because I wanted to have a social life. But yeah, it's a rough, long fight. You don't get any XP for it. You don't get really any rewards for it other than you get the Sheriff's Star, which is a great item. Yeah, you get bragging rights. Not a lot of people can beat Ragu Regala. Maybe one of these days I'll put up the various Wild Arms Ragu fights and actually beat him in every Wild Arms game that has him. One of these days I'll do that. I think it would be fun, actually, to take that challenge on, but do it at my own freaking pace. You know what I mean? Anyway. I know, guys, we're only on the third one, so this is going to be a bit. So like I said, this is going to be a long episode, but if you guys are not interested in the storytelling and want to read this stuff, you can go ahead and just go right to the next episode when it becomes available, which will probably be later this week or the following week, because I've been releasing them more on a schedule for my sanity and for yours, because some people say, when are you going to do the next one? And that was some years ago, so just for a heads up, because if you're still here and hanging out, awesome. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I usually start recording in advance now, because when I finish a game, I get a couple of weeks to kind of reset my brain and do some other stuff, work on some other projects. This game has taken a lot of time away from me doing the novelization stuff for the Final Fantasy 1 game. What am I going to play after this? I'm considering pulling out maybe Shining Force 3. I'm trying to do games of 3 now. I did Phantasy Star, I did Lunar the Silver Star Story, I did Final Fantasy 1. Then I kind of jumped into Final Fantasy 2, Phantasy Star 2, Lunar 2 Eternal Blue, and one other game I think I did a sequel to. And then I decided, hey, I'm going to do all 3s now because I haven't done Phantasy Star 3. I was thinking that might be another one. The original Final Fantasy 3. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do that one. That's the game I hate with a passion next to 13. Those are the 2 games that are the hardest to sit through and play. They're absolutely atrocious. I do think Final Fantasy 3 is a little bit more tolerable than 13. Because 13 is long for the sake of being long and boring. 3 is not that long and not that difficult to beat. You just have to understand how to play it and maximize what you can in that game. Not min-max, but you understand how to build a functional character that works out really well for you. So, but yeah, that's the idea. So what do we do? Number 4, we got... God damn, we got too many of these. Do-do-do-do-do. But yeah, so there's that, and then I'm obviously gonna do more Wild Arms games for y'all. We will do Wild Arms 4 and 5 at some point, but I'm usually gonna take a good break between when I might do 4, probably not before the end of this year, but I might record it before then, but I won't do it like for a little while. Because that's when the game mechanics started to get wonky and the stories started to suck. I know there's people that like 4. That's dandy. That's great. I don't care. 4 is garbage. 4 is a hot, steamy pile of garbage. And 5 was them trying to recorrect everything while still doing things the way they wanted to do them, which I still heavily disagree with. 5 is hot steamy garbage too, with at least better characters. Or actually, I don't know. 4 probably has somewhat better characters, and 5 is just them trying to get back to the Western theme, because 4 doesn't have much of a Wild West theme to it. Hence why it's considered a hot steamy pile of garbage. And 5 pretty much ended the franchise, because I don't know whose decision it was to change the battle mechanics and do different types of world building that are not of the Western theme. But it's one of the things that made Wild Arms so unique. So, yeah, those I will do them, but I don't know when I'm going to get to them, because I've already got Wild Arms 1 and 2 up here for y'all. So, I will get to it, though. It will be something we get done at some point. And maybe even the DS game if I get drunk enough, maybe. You guys get to see me play that game fucking toasted. So, there's that. What else could we play? I was asked... I removed my Lord of the Rings The Third Age because it was incomplete. And Douchewaffle got really bogged down. We used to do that as a 2-player team-up. I might go after that, and redo that one, even though the back end of that game is ass. Which is weird, because it just all builds up to the next big thing, So we did 5, now we're on 6. But yeah, so, there's, some stuff involved with that. So I might do Lord of the Rings The Third Age, maybe even the Lord of the Rings, action games. I might do those, because I like Lord of the Rings. Who doesn't like Lord of the Rings? Harry Potter is what sucks. Ooh, snap! Actually, I can justify my distaste for that, but that's like a RPG Guy Talks video. I could do the Dark Cloud. I think I did Dark Cloud 1, and I wasn't very satisfied with it, so I might redo that one. But Dark Cloud 2 is an option if I still got Dark Cloud 1. I gotta look and see if I still have it up there. I don't know if I took it down or not. I could do Grandy Extreme just so I can have every mainstream Grandy up there and whatnot. The Legaia franchise, Legend of Legaia and Legaia 2 Dual Saga, I have not done. So those would be fun. But yeah, there's a lot. Some people have asked me about other things that I might make YouTube vids of. I know there's a guy named Angel who comes to my YouTube channel, or my Twitch channel rather, and he really pushes me to want to do some stuff that I've considered. I just haven't committed to yet. Because there's so many games out there that I'd love to do. Lost Odyssey is on my list. And why I haven't done it yet, I don't know. I gotta do it soon. I really do. I need to bite the bullet and get it done. And pick one to do it. Xenogears, I'm probably gonna do at some point. So I can start transferring to Xenosaga. For those of you who like Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2, that should help build up the mythos and see if those things are even interconnected. I heard they are connected somehow. I'm just not sure how off the top of my head, because I've never actually played Xenoblade Chronicles 1 or 2. But it is on my list to do on my Twitch channel, so definitely check that out at twitch.tv/JackDartStudios. Because I usually play games blind there, or if I'm going to do a Let's Play, I'll briefly revisit it. Like, I'll play it like 6 months before I actually record it. So for those of you wondering how my memory for a lot of stuff is really good, it's usually along that line. I'll live stream it on the Twitch channel, and then I'll do like a recording of a more completed version of my playthrough of that. I also thought about doing the Tenchu games. I don't know, some action games. My next simulation game is to go back and do Car Mechanics Simulator 2018 and get all the way through it. Maybe not 100% the cars, but definitely 100% the story element, because there is 100% story to it. And once that's done, you move on and get max level on it as well. So I have some plans, and then after that simulation, there is a new one I might play with. I'm not sure yet, but it's called Brewcraft, where you build a brewery. I don't really like it yet. I'm not convinced that it would be good to stream. But there's also one that's kind of like PC Building Simulator called Technology Builder. I don't remember. I have to go look. But there's two of them. One's in 3D where you run a computer repair shop of your own and you have to buy and order parts. You have a storefront and everything. It kind of takes the PC Building Simulator to the max, but you lose the clean-cut quality visually that you get in PC Building Simulator to simulate a small shop that have customers come in and out of it and all that. And you actually, it's a little bit more accurate to the way you would install things on a computer and so on and so forth. So that one's appealing to me to a degree. Shining Force 3, I might do all 3 scenarios. I have the other 2 translated to English. I have the original one. I have the Japanese one translated to English, so the completion stuff is there. So that's a thought. I might do Shining in the Holy Ark after. I'm not right. I gotta really check the order and make sure that when I do them, I try to stay somewhat in the canon. But Shining in the Holy Ark is definitely one I was gonna do. I don't know about Shining Wisdom though. Not big on the Shining action games, and I've got a couple others like Shining Tears and Shining Force Neo, and those games are fucking terrible. And it all started kind of with Shining Wisdom. But Shining in the Holy Ark is really like the gameplay sequel to Shining in the Darkness, and I don't mind that. And it actually has Sarah and Kazin in it, or Kazin in it, Kazin in it, under different names in the English version. But it's definitely one I was willing to have at it, and whatnot. So I have a plan. It's not a good plan, but it's a plan. What else can we do? Pirates of Skies of Arcadia. I need to stream that first. Skies of Arcadia is an option. Some of the Persona games, Personas 1, 2, and 3, I actually have. I also have 5, but I'm going to wait for 5 a little bit longer. I don't know about 4. I don't have it. So if somebody wants to send it to me, private message me. I have a P.O. box. You can send it to me that way. But I don't actually have it. I have all the consoles that would play it. I just don't own it. And I don't have the budget money to go for a game that I'm not that interested to play right away. Like, I'm not that eager to play Persona 4. I get why there's such a big love for those games. They're very good games. I'm not drawn into the world as much. And anime games, just because something's anime doesn't instantaneously mean I like it. I'm very picky about games with anime themes. I've played so many games with anime themes, and not all of them are good. But they really are trying to push and sell the anime feature. Shining Force Resonance, I'm talking to you. Or the Altier's Verona series. The Atelier series is an example of that. Some of them are actually pretty good, and then some of them are just weird. And like, it's like you're watching a really like badly written anime. And maybe the Japanese version's better, and that's why. But whatever. Batten Kaitos for the GameCube as well. I have both of those. There's 2 of those games. That's an interesting JRPG that has really bad voice acting in it. That would be fun to do. Maybe more tactical RPG games like Hoshigami Ruining the Blue Earth is on my list. I've got you know what I haven't really done that I should really look into is Suikoden 1, 2, 3, and 5. We don't talk about 4. But obviously, you guys know when I start a series, I usually can get through it. I usually make an effort to get through them to some degree. So those are options. The Onimusha games would be fun. Those are action-based, not necessarily RPG. Not everything I need to play needs to be an RPG. But you're the RPG guy. I know. But not everything needs to be an RPG, man. Final Fantasy 12, I'm going to be streaming soon. Not right away. Pretty soon. I'm actually streaming... by the time this comes out, I'll be finished streaming White Knight Chronicles 1 and 2, and for moving on from there will be things that are far more interesting. Talk about a game with a lot of potential, and it's just chock full of failure. But yeah, so I have some ideas out there that I want to do, and I'm always willing to take some suggestions as long as they're within reason. Oh dear God. So yeah, that's the plan. 7 was a long one. Oh dear God, we have... After this one, we still have 3 more, technically. Oh, You guys are champs, though, for holding out. Here's what I'll do. You know what? To save time in our overall play, if you want another EX file key, I'll just walk you through it. The Martina one. Martina's the little girl who's trying to find her mother. Alright, and whatnot. This is regarding her mother, anyway. And you meet her in Claiborne. The bar in Claiborne. And every time you talk to her, she kind of leaves and goes somewhere else. When you talk to her in this Claiborne bar, she ends up in Westwood. You talk to her there, and then she'll eventually end up in Little Twister. From there, she'll eventually head to Little Rock. And then eventually from there, she will head to Humphreys Peak. Then from there, I believe she goes to Jolly Roger, then to Ballack Rise. And the big issue is when she gets to Laxus Land. When she gets to Laxus Land, her mother is incredibly ill, right? What you have to do is you need a doctor. Well, there's a doctor in Humphreys Peak. I don't remember the dude's name, so you're just going to have to talk to everybody till you find him. Okay? So you talk to him, and then you oh jeez. You go back to you go back to Laxus Land, and you talk to everybody in the inn where Martina is, and you talk to her too, and you get all that done. And then what was the rest of it? Oh geez, I don't remember. I think you have to, it takes like 10 in-game days, or it's 10 to 15 in-game days. And what you end up doing is you stay at an inn somewhere, or you go to Basker for free, or Boot Hill for free. Either one of those would be fine. Then you go back and you talk to the little girl, Martina, again. And then you go, you'll find Martina there back in the bar, and she will give you an EX file key for all that work you did. It's a lot of running around, and it's a lot of shenanigans, but it's pretty straightforward. It's making sure that you talk to everybody until they have nothing new to say, or they disappear and you don't see them, and you got to find out where they went. It's like I said, it's a disgustingly easy side quest. It doesn't take necessarily that long to do. Especially if you're at endgame and you haven't really done much with it. But I'm not going to bother with it. I explained how to do it here for y'all. That way, it'll be pretty straightforward for you guys for later. By the way, this is a really cool story, so hopefully you took my advice and you are pausing to hear to read this all yourself. But it's good stuff. It's good stuff. And it's long. Look at how long this is. This is nothing like the 100 Memories of Kime. Okay, this is 100 Memories of Kime is weak shit compared to this. This is a lot of dense reading, in my opinion. Oh, maybe we should have done this a little at a time. So we'll let that run. Do-loo-loo-loo-loo-loo-loo. I'm running out of stuff to talk about, guys. I'm sorry. I might do some Zelda games. I've actually been asked why I haven't done a lot. And in all fairness, guys, the reason I haven't done that much is because Nintendo likes to copy claim everything. And I don't have a big enough, fan base to really fight that off at the moment. So I just let them get away with it for now. I mean, I'll sneak in those games as I can. Specifically Nintendo character-based ones. And I love the Zelda games. Don't get me wrong. I love them, love them, love them, love them. One of these days I will just go for it and do like maybe Wind Waker or Twilight Princess or something. But it's been hard to commit to those just because I always get really bitter when they claim them. It's like, you little fuckers, you little shits. Well, I have every right to claim them. You don't watch me just to watch the game, I would assume. You could watch anybody's video of that. You watch it because I'm a big fat asshole. I don't know why you watch, but I'm glad you guys do. Brings me joy. I like how you gotta love how the quotes are all facing one direction, by the way. The quotation marks. The commas. They're not actually using proper quotations. They would have had to program that in. Theoretically, one more. The day the sky fell. You guys are champs, by the way, for hanging in this long. Oh. Let me think what else I got too. What else could I do a let's play of that I have? I don't know. The Ark the Lad series, that's a great series until you get to the PlayStation 2 ones, then it kind of goes downhill very quickly. I haven't done a let's play of Chrono Trigger, which is weird. I don't know why I've put that off, but I have. Maybe I'll do one of those eventually. Will you get every ending? I will get the important ending. That's what's important. And maybe if I'm bored, I do a second run through. I'll start recording independently all the other endings. How about that? I think we can all agree with that. What else could I play? I Am Setsuna, now that I'm thinking of Chrono Trigger. Octopath Traveler. Those are more newer. But why not? Shadow Hearts, the Shadow Hearts series is a series I actually have the completion of. So, but I streamed the first one. I started streaming the second one, and then a big old game came out that I needed to stream. So, Dragon Quest 11. I haven't done 8. I should do the Dragon Quest games that I like. The problem with Dragon Quest games is there's enough Dragon Quest games that I don't like that I would be reluctant to want to stream just because outright I don't like them. Like 7, 8, and 11 are good. I know a lot of people like 4 and 5 separately. Then yeah, they're not bad. Not my favorite though. I'll have to think about it. Cause yeah, when I look back, I haven't done very many Dragon Quest games. I've streamed 8 and 11. And a long time ago, I streamed 7. So those might warrant we're looking into. But yeah, I've got some plans. It's all references, light references to Wild Arms 1, by the way. The Emma Motor, Jack, Marivel. I mentioned some other ones earlier. Now, for some reason, I've read all of them to her. I don't know why we're still not getting it. So let me just pause the thing really quick and see what's going on. Give me 1 second. Okay, so really quickly, we needed to read them in a continuous order, as opposed to having to open the inventory each time. And also, we need to do this just to finish it out, because I realized I didn't get the item. So now I get the last adventure. And so you need to get it. You can only get that when all the books are found and once you've read them all to Caitlin. And I'll show you what I mean here. So if we go to... If we pull out a book and it says read from beginning or continue to next chapter, it doesn't say that now because of the last book. But you have to read them in a very specific way to her. Or it just screws up for some reason. But it's the final chapter. So here you guys go. Here's the last chapter. Like I said, pause the video as you need to enjoy it. I just looked at the time stamps, and we're going to need to make this 2 episodes. So I'm going to just make one episode Mimmir's Well, and then the other one's going to be like in-game questing stuff. Because, yeah, it's been going on for quite a while. Just doing the books and fighting the black box chest was 40 minutes. And we're adding probably another couple more minutes to this, so... Just saying. May as well, do it this way. Makes more sense to me. Ugh. But yeah, so, as usual, just banging my head against the wall for 12 minutes figures it out. It wasn't really, well, it's 12 minutes because the damn reading part took so long. So, fucking A. Okay. And maybe if this ends perfectly, we'll figure out where Martina is and maybe do that. Since I mentioned how to do it, we'll do it ourselves. Just knock it out. As long as it doesn't take too long. Because I don't see why not. Thanks, that was fun. Thank you for all the books. I spent a lot of time with Daddy, too. And we get another EX file key. Yes. So that is done. While we're in Humphrey's Peak, I don't see Martina here. So luckily we only got to go to towns. So really we just got to find where she went. She could be anywhere. Yeah. Let's check little... Well, you know what? I'm pretty sure we talked to her. You know what? Screw this. I'm pretty sure we talked to her in Westwood Station, but I know we talked to her in Claiborne. I'm 90% sure we talked to her in Westwood. And we'll just go through the cities till we figure out where she is. She probably could just be in Laxus Land. Dare I say maybe should work backwards. Yeah, I should probably work backwards, actually. She could already be in Laxus Land. Or, you know where she might be? In Jolly Roger or Ballack Rise. Because she wasn't... I don't know. She wasn't in Humphrey's Peak. And something tells me we would have said hi to her if she was there. So let's try Ballack Rise. Then we'll try Jolly Roger. She's in one of these places, so... supposedly. Martina, where are you? I don't want these on him. I hate the fact that his hands are smoking. Not up here. I don't think she's in a building, so if we don't see her out here, we're going to check Jolly Roger. If she's not in Jolly Roger... I don't just walk by her, did I? No, she wears green. She's not at Jolly Roger, we're going to go right to Laxus Land. Chances are she could even be there, so... After that, she can only be in Little Rock or Little Twister. Because we've talked to her a few times, so she should be in somewhere around there. Somewhere in one of those places. Now, when she's usually in Jolly Roger, she's usually in the saloon. Okay, she's not here. So let's go ahead and try Laxus Land. outside. I always forget that. So let's see here. Thank goodness we have this, huh? Laxus Land. Okay, I believe she should be in the saloon because a lot of the stuff that involves her takes place here in Laxus Land. If she's not here, then she's in one of the other towns. No. I could have sworn we saw her. I gotta think. Let's check Little Rock. I thought we saw her in Little Rock. Or was it Little Twister? Titty Twister. Oh, my nipple. My boob. Excuse me, what's a boob? It's a man boob. Oh, oh, oh. Well, she's clearly not here. Let me check Humphrey's Peak again. Maybe I just missaw her. I don't think we've done this, did we? Let me check something. Let's go to Claiborne. Maybe we did this quest already and I'm losing my mind. I don't remember doing it. But then again, we've been at this game for so long. I could have forgotten. She would be in here. Nope. Nope. Okay, so let's check Little Twister. Or no, what was... Yeah, let's check Little Twister. Because there's a time frame in which you have to actually wait before she will show up there. I don't remember when it happens, so don't ask. I just know that she eventually ends up in Little Twister. But I swear we did this, so I don't think she's here. If I don't see her here, she must be in Humphrey's Peak. And I just missed her? She blended in with the background? Nope. Okay, so she must be in Humphrey's Peak. And I just missed her. If not, I may have done this quest. I just don't think so because the innkeeper in the in Claiborne is different. It's not the right one, which makes me believe I haven't finished it. Let me see here. Ah, wait a minute, here we go. Okay, so here's Martina. So this is a person we need to keep in mind. Alright, so we found her here. We'll need to make and see if she's still here in a minute. Hmm. That's weird. She'll usually move, but she's not right now. Let's try this. Forget how to get her to move. Let me try a few things and see if she eventually moves. Alright, so I've tried all different kinds of things to get her to move, and she hasn't really left Humphreys Peak. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So, I mean, nothing I'm doing is getting her to move. I've normally never have had this problem with this before. So either I missed something, or there's something going on that I don't quite understand why it's doing it. I don't, you know what I mean? It's got to be at this point beyond me, because little bitch won't move. She won't change locations. And there's nothing here telling me why that's happening. So maybe there's a locked glitch here at Humphreys Peak. Maybe I didn't talk to her earlier in the game, and now she's like glitched stuck here. Which, this is a new one for me, so... But if you do what I said, and if you're at Humphreys Peak, and she's here, talk to her, try to see if she moves for you, and then, like I said, she'll end up in Jolly Roger, she'll end up in Ballack Rise, and then she'll end up in Laxus Land, and then do the stuff I said to do in Laxus Land, and that should solve a lot of the other issues. But yeah, for some reason, I can't get her to leave Humphreys Peak, and I'm wondering if she's just glitched, stuck here, like the telepath towers, and she can't leave because I didn't do her quest early enough. It's very likely. So, anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. I'm your host, RPG Guy. When we come back, it is time for us to head into the big Wild Arms 3 finale. Well, it's not the last episode, but we're heading into Endgame, and you know how much fun we have in Endgame. For most games that are usually pretty good. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/JackTardStudios for more awesome gaming action. You can also support both channels there. I'm going to start doing some supporting links in the description below. You don't want to miss out on our other shows, the Chairman of the Board show, and Hobo Headcrab Blind Plays exclusively on our Twitch channel. You don't want to miss out on that. You don't want to miss out on that. Some people have asked if we'd start a Patreon. It's still on the list of things to do, or not GoFundMe, the other one, the other service. I forget what it is already. And maybe we would, because some people have asked if we'd stream on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, I found out in order to stream both services, you gotta get like a place that'll do it, a software that'll let you multi-stream. Unfortunately, that costs money, so monthly too. But anyway, it's something on our list of things to look at and do. So it is something I will eventually make an attempt at. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. We will see you guys next time.